All right, folks. So John had to take off for a bit to go do some stuff. So it's just me here talking to all you folks out there. Um, I was gonna flip a coin here to see what I wanted to talk about, but I can't find a coin. So it's between the presidential candidates and the UFC. Well, I'll talk about the UFC first. It's not so loaded. So it is. I don't know the date. It is the Friday before UFC 200, which is tomorrow night. Eddie Alvarez just won the lightweight title from Rafael Dos Anjos last night. Looked really impressive. I do think that it seemed like a little bit of a premature stoppage. I don't know. It seems like he could have taken a couple more shots without too much risk of extensive damage. He just didn't seem like he was quite out yet. He didn't fall down or anything after the stoppage. He kind of just walked off and was like, dang it. So that seemed a little odd, but still, good job, Eddie Alvarez. It's pretty impressive. John Jones is out. Got notified of a possible violation in his testing. So that sucks. But he was replaced by Anderson Silva. So now Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier in a 3-round match, not for the belt, just going to be a fight. So that's pretty cool. I don't have a problem with that. It'll be fun to watch. I would like to see Silva versus Jones. That would have been really cool if it had come out that way. But whatever, that's cool. I guess that's it for my UFC update until tonight and then tomorrow. So as far as presidential candidates, oh boy, this is something me and John got to talk about. All you Trump fans, come on. Seriously. What are you thinking? I almost wonder if there's people out there who are actually Trump fans, or if it's just kind of the manipulation by the media and Trump, paying people to support him and make it look like he has supporters. I really just don't get how the guy could have any kind of real support base. And then you've got Hillary. Oh boy. A lot of people think she should be in prison right now. Not really sure if that's someone we want as a president. And then you kind of just have the feeling if she were to become president, it would just be 4 years of the same thing. I think a lot of people in the country are kind of feeling like there needs to be some kind of a big shakeup, a big change, maybe go to an online voting system, things like that. We have instant access to information nowadays. It's not like we're living back in the 1800s where some guy had to ride on a horse to the town building and vote for, all the people in his town or something, or, the state. Like, we can all vote now. It's a little ridiculous, the system. I think we need a big change. For any of you who haven't heard, there's a third candidate named Gary Johnson, running on the Libertarian ticket, who seems, I think he sounds pretty interesting, has a lot of interesting ideas, some drastic ideas, especially as far as his thoughts on the IRS and taxes and things like that go. Anyone looking for just any other candidate other than the two main ones, check him out. He's not too bad. I don't know what else to say about that since I'm by myself here. Aha! Bitcoin. I haven't talked about Bitcoin for a while. So Bitcoin has had quite a surge lately. Went up over $700, now dropped back into like the mid 600s. Pretty cool to see it going up like that. For anyone who's listening to us and trying to find out the secret phrase for that 10,000 bits, I believe it was. It's been so long now. The amount of that is like basically doubled. So that's cool. If you had won it back when I first announced, your winnings would have doubled. But now you get more when you win. So that's pretty cool. Anyone out there who's not into Bitcoin yet? Dogecoin yet. Should get into that. It's the future. Oh, one thing I didn't mention earlier about something I've been working on. I recently started a new Instagram profile just called Jesse Roundy Art rather than Artistry, where it's kind of highlights my art process a little bit more. I post a lot more work in progress shots, just so you can kind of see how I do what I do. Kind of varies sometimes. Sometimes I use smudging sticks to really get a nice soft shade and fade from the different tones. Recently I finished the Bill Murray drawing I did, in which I did not use any smudging sticks at all. It was actually pretty interesting. It's all just cross-hatching and laying on layers and layers of graphite. But it's an interesting process. I took photos of it almost daily, so you can see the daily progress. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting to see the evolution of an art piece. Well, at least I think so. So go check that out, Jesse Roundy Art. And then I have Jesse Roundy Artistry for more finished pieces, a lot more varied stuff. When I color John's covers and things like that, I'll post them on there, so you can see just a gallery of finished artwork. You don't have to scroll through a bunch of just progress shots, but if you like seeing the progress shots, you have that too. So yeah, go check that out, follow me, and it would be much appreciated. And John's back, so I don't have to sit here and talk about myself anymore. Do you want to talk about any of the topics I brought up while you were gone?
Yes, I want to talk about all of them. Wait, shit, I gotta go.
You don't even know what I talked about. I brought up a little bit of the political climate surrounding our country right now.
The political scene?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Nope.
You're a Trump fan?
Oh my god, that guy. What did you say?
You're just gonna have to listen to it.
Okay, I'll respond to it right now.
No, I called out the Trump supporters. I said, "What are you guys thinking?" Seriously.
For reals.
For reals. No, I was thinking I almost wonder if Trump, if he's just paying people to look like supporters. I don't know if you saw the post. There were posts of it showed Hillary Clinton at a press conference, and from the photograph it took, it was at the back of the crowd, or kind of in the crowd, I guess. It looked like it was full, there's a bunch of people's heads you could see, and she's up in front, and it just looks like she's in front of a bunch of people. But then there's a picture back at the back of the room, and there's just a small crowd right in front of the stage listening to her. So it's kind of they use these trickery effects to make you think there's more supporters than they really have. And I wonder if that's what Trump is doing. But then they showed a picture of Bernie Sanders, and his had a whole audience full of people. And it's really? Is Hillary really getting more supporters than Bernie? Or just that's what corporate media wants us to believe? Someone is, kind of faking it a little bit.
Yeah, it's really hard to know. I don't even know how the voting system works with delegates and super delegates, and
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't get it, but whatever. Hillary's the nominee, and the one she probably has. Every candidate is probably shady in some way since the beginning of time, since the first caveman had their super delegate voting system in. But there's no fucking way in hell I'd ever vote for that orangutan looking, orange haired, grumpy ass motherfucking Trump. My God, he's just he is just preying on people's fears, and people say oh, he's just speaking his mind and stuff. That's not a good idea. If he was president, I wouldn't want him to speak his mind to what if we got into a major conflict with a foreign power and like a super foreign power like China or something? You want that guy?
Or Russia.
Fuck, like you want that guy like talking to these people? No, like fuck him and everything he does. Like I cannot fathom the kind of world we would live in if he was the president, like how we got this far. I mean, it's kind of a good thing actually, in a sense of like, there are some people I know that have been his supporters. I'm like, okay, I know not to talk to you about certain things or anything important at all ever. You know who you are.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Really, it's just crazy.
Like, I mean, it's beyond whatever policies he has, or as opposed to other people's policies. I mean, it's just stupid. It's like, wants to build up a wall to Mexico. He wants to ban all Muslims. Like, that is just like fucking stupid, and it's just racist shit. If you don't think so, then you're a racist. But then it's just like his answers to questions are so stupid. Like recently I read or heard something about who he is who he's talking with to get God, I'm having a hard time to speak. That's why I never fucking run for president. Like who counsels him, and he says like, well, first I talk to me. I'm pretty smart. I'm good with words. It's like that's all that he says. You know, he's like, oh, I love blacks. Blacks love me. You know, he just says these weird blanket statements that don't mean fucking shit, and you know he doesn't mean. And then like, what was it on like Cinco de Mayo or something? He had that picture of him eating like a taco bowl.
Yeah, and I didn't see it. I heard about that.
And he posted it like Hispanics, like he's in with the Hispanic community. And he's fucking sexist as shit. And like his daughter recently came forward to say like how much of a like a feminist he is or something. I don't think it was the word feminist, but
no,
like
I think it was feminist.
Oh, fuck you. Getting pissed off. Why are we talking about this?
Because people need to know. We can't let this guy.
So I mean,
we need a whole change to the whole system.
Oh yeah, I would say that. And I'm not saying like Hillary is the best. Like I'm not the most political person, so I'm not like delving deep into people's backgrounds and what they are or are not doing. I'm sure she's done some shit that isn't very good, some shady shit, but still, man, there's no way I'm voting for this Trump. I guess there's another independent dude running.
Yeah, I talked about him while you were gone. Gary Johnson on the Libertarian ticket. Have you looked into him much? Have you seen anything, heard anything?
No, I'm waiting for Facebook to give me all the information I need.
That's the way to go.
Like with Bernie, he came out of nowhere.
You know, speaking of Facebook and this whole Facebook Live thing, which you did, which was really cool.
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere. I was actually thinking that's a really powerful tool for our culture, because I think a lot of people out there get so much of their news and information and form so many of their opinions just based off of what they see on Facebook, that with this Facebook Live thing, imagine if one of the presidential candidates just, soon before the election did some kind of huge announcement over Facebook Live. Do you know how fast that would spread? All people have to do is just hit that share button, and you could just get millions and millions of shares super quick. It'd be much faster than doing anything over like CNN or Fox News or something like that. I think it's a really powerful tool that suddenly everyone has access to. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, because I think we had talked about some stuff on a podcast once before. Maybe it was one of the ones we didn't put up, but it was kind of and it made me kind of question things about like back when Obama was first running against McCain, right, with Sarah Palin, and like people didn't want, like, some people thought like the world would go to shit if Obama was president. Some people thought it would go to shit if McCain was. Talk to some people, I'm sure they'll still say the world went to shit with Obama, which is just fucking stupid too. Maybe not some good policies as well, but he didn't fucking ruin the world. But like, if McCain was elected, like how different would our lives be? And I think you kind of made the same, asked the same question. If Trump was elected, like how much of a difference would it actually make? Like, do you still think that, or like, what do you think now?
Good question. I don't know. We would just have to see. I mean, he would have to get into office, and then we'd have to see what would happen. Can he really change anything? Would he change anything? Is he just a puppet? I mean, some people think that him and Hillary are friends. Some things that have happened in the past, have shown that they've had connections and that they've helped each other out. So some people, the conspiracy theorists think that he is running on the Republican ticket just so he can pull out at the last minute and no one will have anyone to vote for but Hillary, basically. So it's kind of like a shoo-in for Hillary.
That would be fucking genius.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird conspiracy theories like that when you get into it, like what it all could be. I think it's obvious at this point, though, that it's just a big game that someone's manipulating. Either a group, maybe corporations. Someone that has a lot of money is manipulating things. I don't see how people couldn't think that with the way things are going.
Do you think this, if it's not a weird conspiracy, do you think this Trump fallout, or this Trump is a fallout from Obama being president? Like, so many people are so pissed off about whatever reason, most likely the color of his skin, probably some, and some of his policies that may or may not have worked, but the Republican side, just couldn't believe that he was the president and doing all the shit he was doing. So now they go in the opposite direction to the extreme, and now we get Donald Trump. And do you think it has any fallout from him?
No. I don't.
All right,
I don't think so. Trump has said before in the past, that he has thought of running for president. I think he actually has. I think he did run. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before. He did actually throw in his hat for a presidential candidate, but didn't get very far. I guess he refined his methods. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a big mess. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with it. It's kind of interesting. It's a little exciting. Part of me just wants to completely ignore it and just be like, it doesn't matter anyway. It's all just, whatever happens, it's going to just end up being the same. But you can't help but get into it a little bit with how crazy it is.
I would have loved to see a Bernie versus Trump debate.
Bernie, I don't know what it is about Bernie. Have you actually listened to him talk? Have you watched interviews with him or anything?
Yeah.
Some of his ideas I like, a lot I don't. But when I hear him talk, I hear a lifelong politician. And it sounds like someone who's saying something that he knows a lot of the people out there want to hear. But I think it would be kind of the same thing with Obama, where a lot of people were like, hope and change, Obama's going to go in and he's going to change things from the Bush era. It's going to be a better, what do you call an organization, a better leadership. But really nothing really changed. I mean, there was a lot of kind of, I guess, social change, but I think a lot of that came just because of the internet, because of things like Facebook and Twitter, and people just having more access to information. I think that change was inevitable. It just happened to happen during Obama's administration.
Yeah, the unemployment rate did go down. The economy did get better since 2008. But
that was bound to happen anyway, right?
Yeah, you could have had another idiot in whatever word that we couldn't think of a second ago in power that could have made it worse.
That's true.
So, but the thing about Bernie is again, whether with his policies or not, whether he's sincere or not, I like the way he debates. People will ask a question, moderators or whatever, and then usually people don't answer the question. They go off on this weird tangent a lot of times, but he usually will answer the question with a definite yes or no. It's like, do you believe in so blah blah blah? It's like, yes, definitely so, and then he'll kind of go into further explaining. That's what I like about him. I just think, well, not even like if they weren't even debating their policies, like just them debating, I think would be pretty fun to watch.
You know what they need to do? They need to get rid of these debates that you see on television where you have a moderator and a time limit and all this stuff, and just have them go on a podcast. Have them go on Joe Rogan's podcast, or have them go on any big known podcast out there, and have these presidential candidates sit there and talk to each other for 3 hours, where you can hear their personality, you can see the way that they respond to criticisms and attacks and things like that. And see who breaks, see who can't keep their shell up, I think that's what we need from presidential candidates. We need to be able to hear them in long periods of time where they're not reading from a script that was written by a group of people, making sure that every word is perfect and every little thing they say is going to hit the right audience. I think they have to be put into these live conversations where they don't have these stupid time limits where it just turns into them arguing over nothing, basically, where they don't answer the questions. Like, have them sit there with someone for hours and keep grilling them until they answer the questions that people want to know.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun to watch. I think Joe Rogan would be a perfect moderator or host to do that with. Well, we'll see. In when do the elections take place? November. Well, guess we'll see.
That's getting close. That's really close.
The Olympics will have come and gone by then.
Really?
The Summer Olympics start this month, I think.
Is Usain Bolt still the fastest man alive?
We'll find out this summer.
Is he in the Olympics still?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
been seeing more commercials, like with Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt and all that. Well, anything else you want to discuss or?
No, I covered it all while you were gone.
Chit chat about? Oh, that's cool. I don't really have a top 10 list. Maybe I'll think of one and just add it to this a little bit later. Now that I can edit things a little bit better. And if we have visual aids, that would be nice too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So maybe stay tuned for the top 10 list, motherfuckers. You have any ideas
I can't wait.
Of a top 10 list I should do?
Yeah, so part of the project that I'm not really talking about yet could involve a Kickstarter. You should put together a top 10 what's the word? Not like rules, but top 10 things to keep in mind when doing a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I don't know how I would put visual aids to that, but okay.
Just do like a PowerPoint presentation. Just a picture.
All right, whatever. So we'll have a top 10 going on. Hopefully you'll be seeing it right now.